Okay. It is year 2025 and, well, I woke up from a nap. And let's play the fairy song. Hello there. The last time we got some little plot twist thingies that hint that there will be a bigger conflict. But well, I would be fine with just the fairy doing fun impressions about the modern life. Okay, let's see. Okay. Well, let me move to... Yeah, the last time there was some weird girl sitting in a tree. That kind of thingy. Yeah, my voice might be a little rusty because of the nap, but it will hopefully be fine after a while. At least mentally I'm pretty fresh. That's good. Anyway, Lev and I walk back to my grand's house, the only sounds being the wind as it runs through the tall grass and the crunching of our footsteps on the ground. Well, let me... Where is the gamepad even? Oh wow, it's fine, I guess. I can take the mouse on my lap or something. That will be good enough. Leo's been uncharacteristically quiet ever since our run-in with that peculiar woman. Oh yeah, she was pretty aggressive last time. Well, I don't know, if that's how she normally is, if she has just been nice because it has been just us. Her eyes are narrowed, her lips pursed together. She doesn't even try to engage me in conversation. It looks like there's a lot on her mind. It's a little disconcerting to see Leo so pensive. Well, she was pensive during the encounter too. I've only known her for a few days, but I have grown accustomed to her bright smiles and her excitable demeanor. Yep. If only I could cheer her up. Oh, I'm sure there are ways. Maybe this was my fault, bringing Leof to this gloomy old church. Not that I knew Lynette was going to appear. Oh yeah, that was also the thing about her comparing herself to the church, we are both products of the past or something. Venturable is a tiny village, but there's a lot about it I don't know. Like an iceberg, you can only see about 10% of it with the naked eye. The rest of it is hidden beneath the surface. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the fairy song iceberg videos or something. Well, probably not. No idea if there is ones, but well, indie games usually don't get that passionate fan videos. There's a dark, shadowy, secretive world of magic and fairies and curses that runs parallel to the unexceptional everyday, masked beneath a veil. I have barely begun to pull the shroud back. Hey Leof, are you alright? Oh yes. I am quite fine, my lady. Please do not worry about me. I have no wish to be a burden. Yeah, well, not sure if that is too reassuring. you're not a burden. I was just thinking, well, you haven't been acting like your usual self. Did that woman bother you? It would be a lie if I said she didn't, but... Leof clenches her fingers into fist. I doubt there was any real truth behind her words. She was just trying to get under my skin. I would not trust her as far as I can throw her. But she said this village was cursed. Oh, I do not believe that, disbelieve that. I doubt she is as innocent as she wants us to believe. Well, like she said, like she is also like the victim of the curse. Well, we haven't seen like much curse in the village though. But who knows? She can cloak her true intentions behind all the fancy words she likes, but I can see through her. Sure. She is rotten to the core, regardless of what she says. Okay, that is like assumptions and then some. Unless like she knows her from the past. Do you think she does mean to harm us? Indisputably. She was the one who addled my brother. I see no reason why she would not try and attack us next. Like she said that it was something else. But she said she didn't. Yeah. She was lying. Well, she might have, but it's like kinda hard to say. But she didn't try to attack us. Though she could have. If she was going to hurt us, wouldn't she have done it already? She said she'd been watching us for quite some time. It would have been easier for her to wait until we fell asleep and then. Although don't like push her buttons into protecting you even more. I make a slashing motion against my throat with my right hand. I don't know much about Lynette, but I know she's powerful, undoubtedly so. She could have slaughtered Leof and I in our beds without making a single sound. Well, possibly I guess, like she was invisible at least. How close have I been to death over the last few days? I thought my escape from Edmund the day before last was perilous, but I have been a constant target since then and I never even knew it. Who would have thought that a simple trip to Venchapel would be so wrought with danger? I'm sure it would be easy for that woman to kill us, but I doubt that would be enough for her. Like if she's cursed, like it's kinda counterproductive. Actually, she wants to do something about the curse. Leof grits her teeth together. I cannot pretend to know what she wants from us, but one thing is certain. Before she kills us, she wants to make us suffer. That's how she amuses herself. I wonder how she knows these things. She's a disgusting woman. Okay, well, sure. I blink at my companion, a little taken aback by her tone. She sounds bitter, even more so than the awful 90% cocoa chocolate my mother was fond of. Oh yeah, 90% is pretty high. I cannot stand that charlatan. She is the one who possessed my brother, and I will make her repent bitterly. Well, like she said she didn't, though. I do not know who she is, or why she wants to torment me so. Okay, she doesn't even know, she's just assuming. But I know that she is an evil person. Well, I don't think she knows. That is why I must defeat her. I live to protect those weaker than myself. That includes my poor brother, who was led astray by that sorceress, and... Okay, so... So like if that's like the case, then like somebody... will lure the brother to the forest, I guess. But is that so? Like, I think the brother was looking for Leof, so it should be kinda the opposite. Like, one of them is misguided here. Of course, it includes you two, money. Let's hope the witch person is weaker than Leof, because then she has to protect her too. Leof smiles gently, but the curve of her lips doesn't illuminate her eyes. Her smile looks forced somehow and uncomfortably cold. You are my dear friend. I cannot let her hurt you. Perhaps we will not clash today or tomorrow or the day after. But soon the time will come. We have to do something about that, because that was our mission statement. Like, we have to, well, get her to her senses so that she can save us. When my arm is recovered and I have regained my stamina, I will stand against that woman, and I will cut her down. It is that simple. I suppose I should feel glad that Leof cares for me so much, but I can't suppress the shiver that runs down my spine. Like, you could try to like reason here, like, we don't exactly know what is going on, so let's not get violent for no reason. Leof's eyes look cold and hard, like stones, and they are almost completely devoid of emotion. After meeting Lynette, Leof and I keep ourselves occupied. We wander the forest for several hours, on Leof's orders, not mine, in an attempt to find a trace of the reclusive witch. Our search yields nothing more, however, than dehydration and mild sunstroke on my part. Dehydration maybe, but no sun here, luckily. Being a feeble human, I soon flag. Fatigue wins out, and we are bidden to return to my grandma's home for dinner. After eating dinner, Leof and I, while away, the evening sipping tea and watching TV. Or see, I can watch actually TV, I guess. Theo's been despondent ever since our chance encounter with Lynette, but she gets surprisingly invested in silent witness. You think, based on her little speech about good versus evil, she wouldn't care for grisly murder mystery stories. But in shows like Silent Witness, no matter how high the body count, the killer or killers are always brought to justice in the end. If only real life could be that simple. I guess detective shows are kind of comforting in a way. They are neatly scripted, so all the loose ends can be tied up in 1 or 2 60-minute episodes, allowing for ad breaks, of course. Speaking of which, Leof gets pretty entranced with the adverts too, particularly the ones for McDonald's. I guess he's never seen a burger before. The deluxe Big Mac bacon burger makes her mouth water like a leaky tap. It's a shame the burgers at McDonald's never look as good as they do on the small screens. Things are never quite as they seem. The next day. A new day dawns, but it leaves me with more questions than ever before. Who is Lynette? What happened to Leof's brother? Why was Leof sleeping in the middle of the forest for centuries on end? Well, some kind of a curse happened, I guess. I wish I knew. There's too much to keep track of. My head's spinning. Leof, for her part, looks more concerned about my well-being than her own history. At least at the present. She sits up in bed, turns to look at me, and then, "Oh my lady, what in the world happened to your poor face?" I don't know what is wrong with my face. Why is she staring at me like that? She's awfully close. Oh nuts, now I'm starting to blush. Waking up next to a pretty female knight is even worse for my heart than the deluxe Big Mac bacon burger. I do not mean to be rude, but your cheeks are all pink and red, and the bridge of your poor nose too. Oh, but don't take my word for it. Come here, come. Leof takes my fingers in her own and rises from our bed. I have no choice but to follow. She leads me to Aunt Leda's vanity table and I examine my face in the wooden mirror, like it's just makeup. It doesn't take me long to detect the cause of Leof's concern. My cheeks, my nose, and my forehead are all stained with angry pink blotches. I must have gotten sunburned after my sojourn in the woods yesterday. Curse my stupid pale skin. Okay, well that's concerning for sure. Jeez, what a pain. Oh, you do not sound particularly concerned, my lady. Are you sure this is not a skin condition or perhaps some kind of sickness? I have seen children in my home die after sustaining such rashes. Yeah, well, in the past, yeah, because they had no health care at all. their skin would turn red, and then they would break out in horrible spots and sores, and then they would cough themselves to death. Yeah, like what is like that disease? Like it's that like smallpox or something, not sure. I'll be fine, it's just sunburn. Like not sure like if smallpox involves coughing. But how can you be so certain? This always happens, it's no big deal really. It's my own stupid fault for not wearing sunscreen. Sunscreen. It's this sticky kind of lotion. You rub it into your skin, and it stops you getting burned when you go out in the sun. I guess it wasn't around back in your day. Yeah, probably not. And neither were Boots or Lundy's or any of the other drugstores where you can pick up SPF 40 for under $10. Probably like bucks, not bucks, like pounds, I guess. Surely like... Actually, I don't know like what is the history of like money. Like they sure had like money, but was it like pounds back then? But money has existed for really long. What are you going to do, my lady? You cannot go outside like that, surely. Your condition might take a turn for the worse. I'll be fine. I can cover up most of it with foundation. I should probably put some SPF 40 on first though. I wonder if I have any. I turn away from Aunt Leda's vanity table. I don't wanna look at my stupid sunburned face a moment longer, and make a beeline for my suitcase. My mother practically stuffed my suitcase to breaking point the night before we set off to Fen Chapel. She made sure to plan for all eventualities. In that way fussy mothers do, be it floods, heat waves, or even volcanic eruptions, probably. In fact, she added so much stuff into my case that I could hardly hold it into the boot of the car. Yeah, hello in the chat. She made me bring my old anorak I had never worn once, an umbrella, 3 new pairs of socks, 2 more pairs of shoes. You can't wear those boots all the time, dear. You'll cripple yourself in those high heels and... I like socks, sure. But like, well, it is summer. Aha! Here it is, my holy grail, a bottle of sunscreen. I told my mom to stop fussing so much. I can pack my own clothes, you know. I'm only going away for a week. But I guess her over-preparedness can come in handy sometimes. Like sunscreen, sure, like it makes sense. Although like you need to reapply sunscreen every now and then. So probably not a good mix with makeup. I take the cap of the bottle, then squirt some of the cream into my palm. Is that the sunscreen you spoke of? How peculiar. I have never seen such a thing before. It looks a bit like a raw egg whites, only it is much thicker. I'm not sure like what you would even compare it to. I'd say it looks more like mayonnaise. I'm kinda sure that didn't exist either. Mayonnaise. Never mind. The thought of slathering my tender skin in mayonnaise is so not an appealing idea. I sit on the edge of my bed and begin to rub the sunscreen into my palms of my hands, then up my arms. I reach up beneath my vest, brushing my fingers against my stomach, my ribs, my sides. This is a little uncomfortable, awkward too. And the sunscreen is supposed to protect you from the ravages of the sun. That's the general idea, yeah. So is it heat resistant? How interesting. I wonder if its properties could protect one against a fire-breathing dragon. Probably not quite. Not quite. I don't know if sunscreen is that effective. I bet the dragon would melt your skin right off your body and the sunscreen with it. But wait, do dragons really exist? And they might, I guess, if fairies exist too, and witches. A couple of days ago, I'd have laughed at the idea, but after everything I have seen, well, who knows? Neo smiles enigmatically and takes the bottle from my hands. Would you like me to help you apply this strange salve, my lady? Your hands are better than two. 4 hands are better than 2, and I should be able to reach the places you cannot. Well, sure. Sure. No ulterior motives at all. You can regard this as an apology for dragging you so relentlessly about the woods the day prior. You don't need to feel obliged. It's not like you did anything wrong. But I did. I was very thoughtless, and I wish to make amends. Would you let me help you, please? Alright then. You can help, just do it quickly, okay. Quickly, well, sure. I will. Thank you for trusting me, my lady. You don't need to thank me, don't be silly. It's not like I'm bequeathing a great honor upon love or anything. Though it's kinda a great honor in a way, I guess. I turn so my back's facing left, then arrange my hair so it's all draped across one shoulder. Let me get the other keyboard. Wow. Okay, there we go. I like her face. Yeah, she's like enjoying it, I guess. My pajama shirt has thin straps and a low back, which leaves my nape, shoulders and the top of my spine completely exposed. I sit there, waiting expectantly, while Leo squirts peak of white sunscreen into her palm. She rubs the lotion into her hands, then introduces her fingertips to my bare back. Nah. I flinch at the contact, my eyelashes fluttering. My mother used to apply sunscreen on the nape of my neck and my shoulders when I was a kid, but she was never this gentle. At the neck is like, yeah, it is kinda sensitive. If you touch the right places. My mom moved with the precision of a machine. In her mechanical attempts to coat me as quickly as possible, Liv meanwhile takes her time. She's just as thorough as my mother but softer with it. In fact, this feels kind of nice. I suppose we should not spend too much time outdoors then. I was hoping we could explore the forest a bit more, but I fear it would be a poor idea. The trees should give you sufficient cover, but it seems to be another hot day, and I would never be able to forgive myself if you fainted. Moreover, my arm is still not quite what it used to be. Does it still hurt? It does not hurt per se, but my muscles feel rather stiff. Well, maybe we can give her a massage. Though I wish I could march into the forest and rescue my brother from that evil enchantress. Here I would not be able to defend myself, let alone you. Perhaps it would be best to stay indoors and enjoy the shade, and yet. Leov glances wistfully out of the window. The curtains are parted and the window is open. The warm summer breeze creeps in through our room, making the curtains flutter. Grand's expansive garden spreads out before us like a green picnic blanket, studded here and there with oak and ash and birch trees. Grandpa's old beehives, now devoid of bees, are off in one corner, like a dilapidated shanty town. Some of the hives have fallen over, and they are surrounded by a tangle of wildflowers. Grandpa's greenhouse is to the left, fenced off from the rest of the sprawling grounds by a boxy hedge. A wooden gate permits entrance to the greenhouse, which is situated next to a vegetable garden where lettuces and onions and potatoes grow. Or grew, I guess. It's the lake, however, that commands most of my attention. The lake in my grandparents' garden is huge, its sloping banks lined with willow trees. The warm sunlight plays across the surface of the lake, so it shimmers like glass. It's a nice day, don't you think? Indeed it is. Leov massages the very last bit of sunscreen into my back, then throws away. Alright, I think I'm done. Finally, I can breathe again. Be still, my beating heart. I wonder what we should do now, though. We can always walk through the garden if you like. It's big enough and it might be nice to check the vegetable garden. think some tomatoes still need picking. And the blackberries might be ready. Blackberries, that does sound delicious. Geoff's eyes light up, just as they did last night when she saw the overhyped advert for McDonald's new line of deluxe burgers. But to her credit, she tries to stem her obvious excitement. I cannot afford to spend all my time eating though. If I want to rescue my brother, I must continue my training. Hopefully it's not going to be a long training arc or something. You want to practice, huh? That's not a bad idea, but I think it would startle Gran if she saw you waving a sword about in her garden. I see, I thought as much. Does that mean I cannot train? Are my skills with the blade destined to wither away? Like I wonder if she can keep the blade like invisible. Though maybe that would be too OP, like it sounds powerful if you could do that in combat. But maybe it's like a 40 pocket or something. Like she can pull the sword out of that. You might not be able to practice with your sword, but I might have hit upon a really good idea here. Like you will give her like a broomstick or something. Something else you could use to train with if you'd like. Truly. And what, pray tell, is that? You'll have to wait and see. I have no idea. No idea why we are even like helping her train herself. I smile obliquely and tap my nose with my index finger. It's a surprise. More like you know, like what was even the game? Oh. Anyway, like the other day, we went to a toy store of a kind with the fellow vampire lady, and like they had like those like kinda rubbery, long kinda toys. Like maybe it could be like that could be something you could use as a thing to swing around, but maybe not. For the record, we didn't buy anything like that. 15 minutes and a lot of foundation later. My goodness, what is this strange invention, money? It's a water gun. They are pretty straightforward, really. Okay, we are just like giving her guns, I guess. Well, that works. You will win a fight for sure. Like a sword against a gun. Water gun. Love cocks her head to one side, perplexed. The water part I understand, but what is a gun? I wonder where the word gun comes from. Like it could be something that comes from something that existed before. So I guess not, like it would then be called like a cannon or something, I guess. It's a weapon you use to shoot projectiles at people. Normally you'd use bullets. They are hard and made of metal, and they can be pretty dangerous. Yeah, sure. Even more dangerous than my blade. Well, I guess like about the same. Like the thing about guns though, well, you can. Well, stealthily carry them and shoot from afar. Unlike a blade. If you know how to aim properly, then yeah. It's not uncommon to hear about violent gun-related crimes that occur overseas. But you rarely hear about incidents involving swords. Yeah, I think I remember like one piece of news about somebody with like a katana or something. Like doing something with the sword, like something like that. Yeah, it's not like the most practical thing for causing chaos for sure. Times have moved on quite a bit since Leos was born, whatever century that was. You don't need to worry about these guns though. They are only toys and you can't hurt anybody with them. You spray water at people, not bullets. Through this nozzle here. When you run out of water, you can fill the gun back up with the water pump in the vegetable garden. I see. And where did you find these guns? They used to belong to Ruby and Pearl. They kept them stored in Grant's garage, since we used to play with them whenever we got together. Like, are we going to like shoot water guns with her? Well, that's not exactly what I was expecting, but sure. It's been a while since they last used them though. You know, cause I had to wipe them free of cobwebs when I finally unearthed them. Will your cousins mind that we are using their guns for our own means? I doubt it. We used to play together a lot when we were younger, but I had my own water gun when I was a kid. My mom bought it for my 7th birthday. After I begged and pleaded, Ruby and Pearl have them, I want one too. I want us to play together. Back then, the three of us would race around Grant's garden, water guns in hands. We ducked behind trees and darted across the lawn, laughing and shrieking like banshees. I remember using a water gun maybe once or something to actually shoot people. Was my parents' idea, but I never really got it. Well, if Aunt Allison's to be believed, I'm the one who did most of the shrieking. Ruby and Pearl never made much noise, even when they were being sniped from a distance by a jet of icy water. Or I think after the only water war I remember my brother got low-key pneumonia from that, so that's probably why it was also the last time. It's not exactly harmless. cold water and all. We played with these guns a lot, and we established our own scoring system. A hit to the head was 20 points, while hit to the torso was 5. Not that it really mattered. We were so ensconced in our games, it was hard to keep count. Sometimes Ella would act as our judge, but she wasn't much cop at it. She said we moved too quickly, she couldn't tell what was going on. Ruby and Pearl and I had a lot of fun with these guns. But we are older now, and we don't play silly games anymore. Yeah, though you're about to play it though. Ruby and Pearl left their guns here one day, and they politely declined to play with me the next time I saw them, even when I begged. They said they were in secondary school now, and they didn't think playing with water guns was very mature. Well, yeah, not exactly the most mature thing. Ruby and Pearl were shy, softly spoken girls, and they used to do everything I asked. They were older than me, but I was their undisputed leader. They never ever questioned my judgment. I was the one who picked the games we played, and I almost always beat them. But that changed when my cousins started attending secondary school. They began wearing makeup and dyeing their hair. And all of a sudden, they didn't want anything to do with me anymore. They said I was an immature little kid. They, meanwhile, were oh so mature. Our relationships never been the same since. It's a little sad. But the past, to quote our Lord and Savior Idina Menzel, is in the past. There's no point dwelling on it now. These guns are pretty different from your sword, but if we play about with them, we should get some exercise. A quick match might help you with your accuracy too. It sounds kinda far-fetched though, unless like you actually plan to give her a gun to fight the whatever we need to fight. They are kinda old, so they might be a bit busted, but they should work. Oh yeah, I remember like once I was doing like a Call of Cthulhu like tabletop campaign to friends, and like there was like the last boss was like a vampire, and they like the players were like, we'll get like holy water from a church and like put it into water guns and water balloons. I used the balloons as grenades, like that kind of thing. But if the last boss was a vampire, then maybe, but most likely not. If the last boss is like a dragon, like maybe you can squirt like water into its mouth and quench the fire. Or like maybe we can somehow get a gun and like she's like facing the last boss and like then all of a sudden we snipe it from the buses or something. Wouldn't be the most epic kind of fight, but it would be a plot twist of a kind. Anyway, I hope so. They are such strange weapons. Do you want me to show you how to use it properly, Liaf? It might take a bit of getting used to. I shall be fine, my lady. On this matter, I trust my intuition. Well, alright. Liaf sounds awfully confident. I hope that doesn't backfire on her. I don't mean to boast, but I'm pretty good with water guns. I don't think Ruby and Pearl were ever able to defeat me in battle. Not even when they banded together to take me down. I might be short and scrawny, but I'm sturdier than I look. But short is probably harder to hit too. So how are we going to do this exactly? What are the rules? You get 20 points if you hit the head, 5 if you hit the torso. We'll keep going until one of us gets tired and gives in. What do you think? Or can she do math? Surely she can count to 10 or something, but can she do not exactly advanced math, but multiples of 20 or something? That sounds like fun. I would very much like to spar with you. Well, I guess she can. If she can't read, then it's kinda unlikely that she would be able to do math. Well, let's not think about that too much though. Aren't you taking this a bit too seriously? This is supposed to be a fun game. Oh no, my lady, you underestimate me. When it comes to combat, I do not play. Whenever I fight, I do it to win. You might be my friend, but I will not hold back. Liaf points the barrel of her gun at me, her finger resting lightly on the trigger. But it's probably just for the CG. It does not matter whether I'm using a gun or a sword. I will do my best, and I will make you recognize the full extent of my power. You mean you just want to show off? I suppose that is a fair assessment. I do enjoy displaying my full capacities in combat whenever I can. More yes, he's kinda trigger happy based on what happened with the witch person. I hope you have prepared yourself, my lady. You might have been the one to propose this boat, but I shall not go easy on you. Here I come. Hey wait, that's not. But I'm unable to choke the words out in time. A stream of cold, icy water hits me in the head. I stagger back, trying to fend off the unending stream of water with the plastic side of my own gun. And here I was, worrying that Liaf wouldn't know how to operate her gun properly. How foolish I was. When it comes to combat, she really is merciless. Then, in that case, I won't hold back either. I see the jet of water at Liaf, though she is able to dodge it just in time. She spins, her borrowed skirt fluttering, and meets my grin with one of her own. Good, that is how I prefer it. It would be boring if you gave up at the beginning. Now let us fight until neither of us can stand. You're on. I'll show you what I'm really made of. Please do. That would make me happier than I have been in years. Do not let me down. Wouldn't dream of it. That commences our bitter battle to the death. Well, game over, I guess. My dad was quite a rigorous workout. Did you enjoy yourself, my lady? I don't know if enjoy is really the right word. You weren't kidding when you said you weren't gonna hold back. I feel exhausted. That is a good thing, surely. It proves that you have been working hard. It ain't real exercise unless it hurts, huh? Now you sound like Miss Whitman. Miss who? Like that was like the teacher or something, I guess. My PE teacher. She's a demon. I bet she only became a teacher so she could torment me. Okay, don't give her wrong ideas. A teacher probably existed back in the day too, as a concept. Oh my, I hope I have not been acting particularly demonic. Just a little bit. Well, maybe a little. You didn't give me a chance to catch my breath. It feels like my muscles have turned into jelly. It's been a while since we concluded our fight, and I'm still gasping for air. Lev, by contrast, looks perfectly composed. There's not a single strand of her brown hair out of place. Unlike me, she managed to avoid most of my torrents of water. Her clothes are almost completely dry, save for a few damp splotches on her long skirt. Maybe I underestimated her. She's every bit as powerful as she promised, and then some. What a fearsome foe. You're way too good at this. It isn't fair. Well, I have had training unlike you. I used to practice with my sword for hours on end. Well, like practicing with the bow would be closer, I guess. I guess like just having stamina helps too. Like bows did exist, not sure like when crossbows became a thing. It was probably in the medieval times, but like, not sure. It should have been somewhere around there because like guns did like follow. Like guns were a thing when they were like colonizing America at least. I'm not naturally strong, so I had to train myself in order to protect others. I wanted to care for my father, my brother, and the people of my settlement. And now I wish to care for you too. Well, shooting with your water gun, well, that is care of some kind, I guess. By shooting me in the face with a stream of icy water. Well, you were the one who proposed the challenge. I thought it would be an insult to your honor if I did not use my full power. It wasn't supposed to be a challenge. Yeah, I don't know, it kinda is though. Oh, are you sure you're not saying that because you lost my lady? Pout and turn my head away. My love giggles beside me. Now my clothes are all wet. I got a bit wet too, but it should be alright. It is a lovely warm day, and I doubt we will be in much danger of catching colds. Oh, it happens. It happens if you're not careful. I'm starting to wonder if love can catch colds. She's not an ordinary human. Maybe she's immune to germs and bugs and nasty diseases. Yeah, she might like she hasn't seen influenza or anything, so she might just be super vulnerable actually. Now, how would her insides look if I took her to get x-rayed? Maybe her body isn't built like mine. She certainly has stronger legs and a swifter aim. I could barely get a hit on her, though she utterly destroyed me. It's probably just her being stronger. We just need to sit here and wait for the sun to dry our clothes out. Nature always has a way of providing. Yeah. I stare up at the blue sky spread above me, partially obscured by fronts of green leaves. The leaves sway slightly in the breeze, and I squint, holding one hand to my face to blot out the sun. The grass brushes against my damp legs and arms. A sweet floral scent dances in the air, no doubt from a nearby cluster of rose bushes. Grandpa used to tend to this garden, with a bit of help from Dad. He watered the tomatoes and lettuces in the vegetable garden, clipped the rose bushes, and kept several hives full of bees up until his death last year. Most of Grandpa's responsibilities have fallen upon my dad's shoulders now. He comes over every week to help Gran keep on top of things. She can't work the lawn, the old lawnmower, with her ropey arms, so my dad cuts the grass. He shears the hedges too and tends to all the flowers. My grandparents' sweeping garden hasn't fallen into disrepair just yet, but the roses do look a little more tangled than usual, and the grass is uneven and choppy. My dad's not great shakes at gardening, and it shows. Still, he's doing his best. I worry what will happen to this place when Gran dies. Well, the one uncle guy was planning to take over the place, I guess, so that's what will happen. I spent a lot of fun hours in the garden, playing with Ruby and Pearl and Ella. Those moments are all precious to me, though they seem very faint, almost ghostly now. I don't want this garden to disappear. What will happen to my memories then? But the memories will stay. Hopefully, unless you get amnesia or something. Money. Leaf shifts a little closer to me until her knee nudges my side. Are you alright? I'm just thinking. Oh, what a relief. I was afraid you were sulking. What would I be sulking about while losing the what you're gonna fight? Well, let me see. You could always be reflecting upon how badly I beat you, mayhap. Hey. I scowl. For a so-called knight, you're not very modest. Don't you know there's a thing called being a sore winner? Then I apologize if I was being discourteous. Perhaps I should be more humble, but... Delph glances out over the lake, her expression contemplative. Well, he hasn't been like super humble exactly. During my era, others constantly looked down on my skill. I wanted to join the guards who kept watch over our settlement, but I was refused. No matter how many times I asked, they said I would only be a liability, for I was a woman. I said I would prove my mettle by besting them all in 1-to-1 fights. They agreed, laughing, of course, because they assumed I was all talk. They were sure there was no way I could triumph over them. They were wrong. I proved myself, but even then, they did not recognize my abilities. They dismissed my victories as dumb luck, and some even said I was cheating. But that's so losers for sure. More like that's like modern e-gamers or something. Like that kind of attitude. In the end, I was never accepted as a knight. I was only ever regarded as a woman. I wonder if that is why I enjoy being with you so much. When we are together, I do not feel the need to prove myself. It seems that you accept me as your knight, even though I am a woman. Or am I wrong? No, you're right. I accept you, so you don't need to keep rubbing your victory in my face. Wonderful. Delph claps her hands together. Being with you really is fun, my lady. 'Cause you can trounce me in any contest of strength in under 5 minutes. Oh no, that isn't it. Not entirely at least. And I do not think I trust you. You put up a fine fight. I did not expect you to last as long as you did. Well, thanks very much. That does so much for my go, not. You did so well, perhaps I should grant you some kind of a reward. What sort of a reward? Like a kiss? Well, sad though it is, I do not have much to offer you. It is customary for women to give brave knights embroidered kerchiefs as tokens of affection, but we are both women and I am the knight, not you. There's broad furrows. As we are both friends and I care for you, perhaps. Delph leans in even closer, her sweet breath dusting my cheek like icing, and says, "This is for you. I know it is not much, but I hope you accept it. She takes my hand in her own, then presses a quick kiss against my knuckles. Her lips barely graze my skin. The kiss is as quick and fleeting as a fairy's footstep. But I gasp, all the same. Why it is a kiss? I hold my hand to my chest. Blood rushes beneath my cheeks, dyeing my face red. My skin feels warm here, warm where love kissed it. Why is it prickling so? I might as well have been poked by a pin. What? I just you. Why did you do that? Your finger lines her to head to one side. I apologize if I did something untoward, my lady. I only wish to show you my fond feelings. Yeah, well, it is a way to show feelings for sure. Is this gesture not common amongst friends? No, it's not. It's definitely not. If I kissed Helena like that, then... But I'm unable to counter. I don't have the opportunity. That's because, at that moment, a familiar voice calls to me across the garden. Oh, Mani, yeah. There you two are. I was calling for you. Kissing like definitely... Like it's... At least like here, yeah. Kissing isn't for friends. Even like kissing one's like hand is not really for friends. Like maybe like if you're like really good friends and you can pass it off as a joke, like then maybe just barely, but not really. Not sure like if it would be more acceptable in France or something that is like with the stereotypical country where everybody is like, well, more like romantic, I guess. But like maybe it's just a stereotype anyway. Gran is approaching us, wending her way about the side of the lake. She's wearing a pastel cardigan and a pair of brown lace-up shoes. I'm so used to seeing Gran indoors, her slippered feet clad in a pair of fluffy slippers, that it seems almost strange to see her in shoes with real heels. In her hands, she's holding a tray laden with small bite-sized fancies and a china teapot. What have you got there, Gran? I was doing a bit of baking this morning, and I thought you might want to help yourselves. There's some banana bread here, and some blueberry muffins, and fairy cakes too. You always used to love my fairy cakes when you were little, Mani. Or what are like fairy cakes? Like muffins, sure, like I have made muffins myself too. They are fun, but haven't like ever heard about fairy cakes. Hopefully just doesn't contain fairy. Like it could be something that would be in Zelda in that case, but yeah, would be kinda yikes. That was a while ago, Gran. I thought you would say that. You might fancy yourself a grown-up miss, but nobody's too mature to enjoy a few cakes. Yeah, sure. I think you need sweetening up, dear. Though you have been more cheerful since Leaf arrived, I'm glad you have a friend to play with. Yeah, well, for now, not sure what will happen when, we have to leave. Yeah, when we have to leave the village, can we just take her home? Is that how it works? Or not to mention the whole Yuri thing, it's one thing to if your friend goes homeless, maybe your parents will be yeah, sure, but if it's basically your girlfriend, then it could be kinda awkward. Not even sure how big their house is. So you can sleep in the same bed, but it will be something else entirely. I want to counter with Sully. We weren't playing, but I guess that's indisputable, given how wet my clothes are. Leo would say we were sparring, of course, but I'm not so sure I agree with her judgment. Gran shuffles toward us. Her gait slow and overly hesitant. Her hands tremble, and I'm afraid she'll spill the teapot. Do you need any help with that? Oh no, I'm fine, dear. Just give your old Gran a second. But you made those cakes for us. Please let me aid you, my good woman. Leaf rises to her feet. She picks her way across the grass to my grandma, skirting about clusters of white flowers, and takes the tray from her with her nimble fingers. Leaf really is better than me at everything. She's beaten me out at water gun fights, and I think she might even make a better granddaughter. Why she's so perfect? Maybe fairy blood really does run through her veins. No, I don't want to be a bother. Thank you very much, dear. These old legs just aren't what they used to be. Now you two girls enjoy your snack, alright. I brewed some lovely chamomile tea too. It should go well with the fairy cakes. It's hopefully better than the chamomile tea I try to make. Sometimes when I run out of anything else, I don't know, I just don't understand tea. And I don't know how to make it too, I guess. But I don't know, chamomile tea tastes kinda yikes to me. I'm more of a hot chocolate kind of girl. Please return the tray and the plates to the kitchen when you have finished. I'll be in the living room if you need me. Gran shuffles back off to the house while Leaf carries the tray beneath the shade of the willow tree. We sit together beneath the tree, cross-legged, in companionable silence as we watch Gran retreating back. Leaf smiles contemplatively, tracing a pattern about the rim of one of the teacups Gran also painstakingly prepared with her trembling fingers. Your grandmother is there, isn't she? She really is. I pour us 2 cups of piping hot tea, while Leaf examines the delicate pastries laid out on the willow-patterned plates. Leaf seems taken with the banana bread and the muffins, but I think she is particularly enchanted by the fairy cakes. They are toppled with white icing sugar, piped into fluffy peaks, and decorated with tiny silver balls that shimmer beneath the sunlight. These little delicacies are simply adorable. What did your grandmother call them? Fairy cakes. Fairy cakes, is it? That is a sweet name in theory, as long as it doesn't contain fairy. But these cakes look far too good to be wasted on mischievous thieving fairies. And that's probably like a better way to think about it, at least. Have you met any fairies before? Like she said, the hiding the sword trick was something fairies taught her, so I guess. Yes, I have, quite a few times, in fact. They prefer to hide themselves away from humans, but they cannot be underestimated. They particularly enjoy harassing humans. They make them lose sight of their paths when they venture into the woods, or lead them astray into dangerous territory. Okay, so the voice we heard when we got lost in the woods was a fairy, I guess. Then they laugh about it amongst themselves and do nary a thing to help. I cannot stand fairies. They don't deserve any of these little cakes. Yes, he can't stand a lot of things, it seems. Like witches are off limits and now fairies are off limits too. Well, it's just a name. We usually eat them at birthday parties, alongside jelly and ice cream, and sausages on sticks and slices of Battenberg. I never really liked Battenberg. It's a very sweet cake that's coated in marzipan and it hurts my teeth. Grant's fairy cakes, meanwhile, are another matter. They are small and perfectly formed and they taste delicious. Yeah, I don't know, like my current impression is that they are kinda like cupcakes, but no idea. How lovely. This little cake is so soft and fluffy, it almost tastes like a cloud. Probably not like muffins can be kinda fluffy, I guess, but probably not that fluffy. Like, is it like kinda like cotton candy or something then? Though like that's not a cake. I really am glad I came here. I'm glad I met you. Love looks at me, her eyes shining, a dab of icing sugar on her lower lip. Some things about this village are bothering me, but it seems churlish to complain when the food is so wonderful. For now, let us enjoy ourselves. We can worry later. Well, that's like better at least than being super bitter about the beaches and everything. That sounds like a good idea to me. For the moment, I don't want to think about fairies, or the enchanted forest, or Leof's brother. I don't want to worry about the witch, or what will happen to Leof when I have to go home at the end of this week. I just want to spend time with her. Well, that's like progress, I guess, in the Yuri department. And I want to have fun. Yeah, well, that's going to be too much progress. Too much for YouTube, not that I would mind. I can't shake the feeling that Leo's living on borrowed time that's fast beginning to run out. The next day. Yeah, like I wonder like what will happen to her when we leave. Like surely we can't just dump her to the woods and come back later when we have our own apartment or something. Leo and I have breakfast with my grandma the next morning. Then we go for a leisurely stroll about the village. Leo glances at the small, squat bungalows with mild interest, her fingers linked behind her back. The heels of Aunt Leda's shoes click against the ground rhythmically with each step she takes. I think Leo's getting used to my aunt's old clothes. She doesn't stumble like she used to, and she doesn't pause to adjust the straps about her foot. I suppose I should have expected as much. Leo, as I learned after our ill-fated duel yesterday, is good at almost everything. It's another nice warm day. Leo extends her arms above her head, her nut brown hair dancing in the breeze. Does your face feel alright, my lady? It should be fine. My cheeks are still a little pink from sunburn, but none of my skin is peeling, thank God. A full day's passed, and my sunburn doesn't look so very obvious anymore. I smothered the worst of it with white foundation, though some of it peeks through. It's almost like I'm wearing Valentine's Day themed makeup, or that I'm perpetually blushing. Neither of those looks really chill with my black shirt and the silvery chains hanging from my belt, but whatever. My blonde hairs never gelled with my overall look either. But that's just something I have to put up with. What about you, Lev? How's your arm? It feels better, thank you, but there is still a certain measure of stiffness to it. I think I need at least another day to recuperate before I venture forth into the forest to find my brother. We very much need to have a talk. Like we probably need to have a talk too, because we were supposed to like talk sense to you. If it just goes back to the forest, like it's not going to be any different, I guess. Like the brother is still cursed, so he'll probably not recognize her anyway. Like if he had like a stun gun or something and we could like stun him and then like tie him up and bring him like out of the forest, like maybe that would help, but yeah, wouldn't be like very epic fight. Leo sighs. She must know just as well as I do that future altercations with her brother will be anything other than civil. I doubt they'll exchange any real words, just blows intended to kill. Yeah, well that's like no progress at all. I can only hope Leo will emerge unscathed. Yeah, though like I'm pretty sure she's not like up to basically slay her brother. Aren't you at all afraid? Not really, as Edmund's younger sister, it is my duty to restore him to his senses. He always used to scold me when we were younger. Now I must return the favor. How though? You needn't worry about me. I am strong, my minor injuries notwithstanding, and I am determined to anybody can help my brother, I can. Well, I don't know, like you have like no plan though. Kinda doubt it's going to help. I will not rest until he's been freed from the influence of that wild witch. That's another thing that's bothering me. Leof seems certain that her brother is being possessed by Lynette, but I'm not so certain. There are so many things we don't know. That church did rather pique my fancy though, the stained glass window in particular. It is quite the unusual piece to display in a church. Like the stained glass was like a knight fighting a dragon, so maybe there will be a dragon. Like maybe that's the last boss. Would be like very RPG themed, I guess. You're not wrong about that. That stained glass window always captured my fancy when I was a kid too. It almost made tagging along to church with my grandparents worth it. Almost. I conjured up all sorts of stories about that window, all the while trying to drown out the priest's slow, unhurried sermon. Yeah, like maybe like the stained glass comes from like a folklore or something, like a local folklore that stems from the curse thingy. Like maybe there actually is a dragon in the woods somehow. I gave the knight and the dragon names, and I made up all sorts of histories for them. The more complicated, the better. Now the knight will be Leof and the dragon. Like what would be a good name for a dragon? Well, let's name the dragon Chip or something. Not sure why, but well, the dragon shall be a Chip. So Chip now. Leof is Leof, not Dale or anything. The knight was a warrior, or a villain, or even a runaway princess in disguise. The dragon was a wild monster, a misunderstood wretch, or sorceress talking in another form, like Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. I watched a lot of Disney films when I was a kid, and it kinda influenced the way I viewed the world. It's scary that mass media can do to our young, malleable minds. Well, I watched them too, but I don't remember like anything at all. Like recently me and fellow lady watched the Shrek movies, so I kinda remember them. There was a dragon there too, like maybe the dragon is the same here. Like we just need like some kinda fancy animal companion to tame it. When I was young, I saw infinite possibilities in those two unnamed characters. Frozen forever within that window, but I don't think there's anything that mysterious about it. It's just a stained glass window of some saint. I bet it's depicting some dull scene from the Bible. I'm pretty sure there was no dragons in that one. The moment I asked my mother who the figures in the window were, and she supplied an answer, all intrigue faded. The knight and the dragon stopped being mysterious and mutable, filled with possibilities. They became part of the scenery. Yeah, well, like, That's the difference, I guess, between soft world building and hard world building. I wonder if that's what my English teacher, Mr. Spindley, means when he talks about death of the author. Like, isn't death of the author like you're supposed to? Like, think of the thing as if the author didn't like matter really? Or am I just like completely misunderstanding it? Like, I have only like heard a couple of times people talk about it. I haven't thought about that window for years since, but Liv seems rather hung up on it. Probably because she's a knight. You thought the scene depicted Saint George, and I thought it might be Saint Theodore, but who can say that scene depicts either of those stories? It could represent something else entirely. And what makes you so certain? I cannot be certain. That is the worst part. It could be a coincidence, but for some reason that scene looked awfully familiar. Familiar. You haven't killed a dragon before, have you? I am unsure. If I had, I am sure I would remember, but parts of my memory feel as though they have been shrouded in fog. Okay, so she has amnesia too, sure. Maybe this was just an idle fancy, but when I saw that window, it jogged something in my mind. I was thinking maybe, just maybe, if I can learn more about that window, you'll be able to learn more about yourself. That is the general idea, yeah. Well, it is pretty like RPG tropey in a way, so sure. Even if the window is unrelated to me, it might help me learn more about that witch who ensnared my brother. I'm sure she is linked to that church in some manner. Or not, like she was just there. Or it could just be that the church is in the village, near the forest. Or like maybe like the witch is the dragon, but no proof towards that yet. Perhaps we all are. The witch and my brother and me too. We are connected by threads, like a spiderweb. I need only find where those threads converge. I wish I could talk to the man who made that window. That might give me some sort of clue. I want to know what he was thinking when he chose to depict such a scene. Well, that was supposedly like pretty long time ago. Sorry to disappoint, but we can't go back in time and ask him. He'll be long dead by now. I don't remember if they said like the church was originally from like 1600s or something. Though like renovated and stuff like in between. Not sure, like maybe the stained glass thing is newer. But still, unlikely that we'll have access to whoever made it. And unlikely of most dead people generally tend to stay that way. Well, like Leof isn't like technically dead, she was just sleeping, I think. The glacier will be 6 feet under by now. His skeleton remains the home of riding worms. I know it is most vexing. I'm sure that sorceress knows something, but I doubt she would tell us. Or maybe she might, but the thing is that you didn't listen at all the last time, so she's not like too inclined. Like you were just about to murder her basically, so that's not going to be like very helpful there. If my brother and I are trapped in a spiderweb, then she must be the spider. I'm sure she enjoys watching us struggle. She will not lift a finger to help. But some of the people in the village might know. Like, did the witch say that she was like... I don't think she was the one who like talked to the main character when she got lost in the woods. Like, it was probably the fairies and not the witch. Or maybe it could have been her. I don't remember if she like told she was that. And I think it probably was her actually. I don't remember. Fairies would make sense too, but who knows. Like maybe she is a fairy. That would also make sense, right? Then like it would make double sense. I kinda like that theory, like maybe she's a fairy. So you want to go around questioning people about that window. Like, you know, like earlier they said that fairies will like harass people in the forest and stuff. So it could be that she's fairy because of that. Or like the name of the game is the fairy song, so maybe she will sing at some point. Why not? There's a strong sense of community in small settlements like this. I'm sure everybody would be more than happy to help. But probably like grandma would be like the first candidate for asking because she's old. I think you're being a bit too optimistic. Venturable is one of those tiny places where everybody knows everybody else. But nobody knows Leof. She's an outsider. If that's, they'll be less likely to open up to her. Who wants to field the questions about the crumbling old church to a dwarf teenager girls anyway? We probably think we're taking the piss or wasting their time. I think like if there are more like grandma kind of people, I'm sure they would be happy to talk. Like older people really seem to appreciate when people ask them things and they get to talk about the past and stuff. Perhaps I am. But there is nothing else for us to do today. We cannot go into the forest until I recover. But I do not want to sit idle either. And like grandma was also like talking about like weird things in the woods and stuff, so might be her cup of tea to talk about the church and the mysteries there. Let us go, my lady. We need to question the good people of this village. There is no time like the present. Wait. It's possible we might find one or two people in this village who know about the window, I guess, but that window was a more modern addition to Venchapel's church. It was still constructed several centuries ago. It's not completely improbable that a descendant of the original glacier would still be living in Venchapel, but what would they know of their great etc. grandfather's work? surely like it's not that many crates. Oh well, maybe it might be, if like it's several hundred. Like, I don't remember when they said the renovations were done, but surely it can't be more than 200. Or maybe it could be 300, who knows. If you left behind any notes, they'll be long gone by now. Plus, there's always the possibility the glacier who made the window wasn't a local of Finchapel. The window is certainly quality work. Even as a kid, I could recognize that. But most likely, it should be something local because, well, knights and fairies and stuff. It seems unlikely somebody that talented would just so happen to be living in a tiny village like Finchapel. What if they were a contractor who originally came from Lincoln or York or Louth? If that's the case, the chances are slim that they'd have any descendants in this village. They might not even have any descendants at all. You might be right about the window, but it would be pointless to knock on doors about it. We are not detectives. We don't have the authority to make people answer our questions. But then what will we do? How will we learn about that window? I ponder, my arms folded. It doesn't take too long before I think of an idea. My gran knows quite a bit about this village. Maybe she'd be able to help. That's a good idea. She does appear to be a knowledgeable woman. Let us return to your grandmother's abode without delay. I cannot wait to hear what she has to say. Well, kind of what I expected. I had clung onto the hope, while walking back to Gran's house, that she might be able to shed more light on the mystery of the stained glass window. Certainly, she seems to know more about Finchapel than anybody else. She's the one who first started to talk about the fairies, which later proved, no matter how loopy it sounded, to be true. And she's the one who gave me that old pendant. Oh yeah, that too. If anybody can get to the bottom of this, it will be her. Well, conveniently. It should be her, at least. But her response to my query is less than satisfying. That window isn't the man on the horse St. George. So you think that too? I don't see who else it would be. There aren't many saints known for slaying dragons. I guess you're right there. I sigh. I had not learned anything new. This is exactly what my mom always said. In the past, I accepted this theory without much thought. Because why shouldn't I? At the time, I thought it was a perfectly ordinary bit of stained glass. Leo's interest in it does make me wonder, however. I'm sure there must be more to it than that. There has to be. Now that is quite a heavy sigh. Gran smiles indulgently. Were you up late last night, dear? You look tired. I always look tired. Tireder than usual. Fed up too. Perhaps you should have a lazy day indoors. No thanks, I have stuff to do. Stuff? What stuff? That window isn't bothering you, is it? Kind of. I had never really thought about it before, but well... Jeff and I went to the church yesterday, and she was taken by the window. She said it was unusual. I'd always taken it for granted, but when she pointed it out, I started to think the window was a little strange too. I have not seen any stained glass windows like that in any other churches. Not that I have been in many other churches in my time. I like traipsing about graveyards as much as the next disaffected teenage goth. They are good places to take photos, okay. But the crumbling old churches themselves don't pose too much interest. My parents aren't religious, so they have never taken me to the local parish. I'm woefully uneducated when it comes to Christian iconography. So is this something you're interested in, Leah? Yes, indeed. For some reason, I can't stop thinking about that window. It feels very significant, though I'm unsure how or why. It has been playing on my mind. That is why Mani asked you about it. She has been trying to satisfy my curiosity. Yes, you was about to say the My Lady thing there. She truly is a good friend. Yes, she is, isn't she? My Mani might wear a lot of black, but she is a sweet girl deep down. Aha. My face might be covered in a layer of foundation, but I can feel myself blushing beneath it. Feed it with the sappy stuff crown. You're embarrassing me. But why Mani, dear? I'm only extolling your good traits. I haven't spent as much time with you recently as I did in the past, but your father can never praise you enough. Your marks might not be the best, but you make up for that with your kindness. There are many intelligent people out there, but there aren't nearly as many kind ones. Yeah, never like too many kind people, and it seems to be like a resource these days, sadly. Well, like not sure, like it, intelligent thing is a rare resource too, at least if you like think about social media or something. Like the things people will believe. Kindness is in short supply, I'm afraid. Yeah, well, yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah. I scuff the floor with my foot. I guess I'm just a regular bleeding heart. I'm too nice for my own good. Nonsense, there is no such thing. I don't know. I don't think Helena would agree with this glowing assessment of my character. She called me an interfering busybody, and even worse, read the whole Proteus thing. Yeah, that thing again. She seemed to think I was jealous of her relationship for some ungodly reason. She couldn't fathom the idea that I might, in fact, be worried about her. Like maybe she was like low-key jealous because the gay thingy. Though like she hasn't admitted it yet, but kinda low-key. Low-key with the my heart can't take this kind of talk. I tried to make her see reason, being the great friend that I am. And how did she repay me? She ghosted me. People are so unappreciative. I bet she'll come crying to me when things go south. They obviously will, and I'll have to try very, very hard not to say, "I told you so," all condescending like. Yeah, like, well, yeah, it's tempting to do like this kind of thing. Like, you could do like prediction, like Silksong will not be out in 2025, like on social media now, and then when it won't be, like, you can like boost the post like "I told you so." Though my theory is that Silksong will be out in like near the end of the year or something. But who knows? Like, it kind of feels as likely as that it won't. That's beside the point though. Yeah, indeed. I have more important things to worry about right now. Are you very intrigued by that window, Leo? Quite. I have always had an interest in old things, and I would love to know more about it. Granules. As an old thing myself, I suppose I'll take that as a compliment. It is curious though. I didn't think a girl your age would take such a shine to that old church. I thought you'd be interested in, oh, I don't know. Money, what do teenager girls like? Well, what do they like? Like phones, TikTok. Well, probably not Fortnite. That is probably more of a boy thing. But not sure if it is like in anymore either. Well, let's say like phones and TikTok and makeup. Like, that's the super stereotypical take, I guess. Oh, I don't know. I'm more normal than Leo is, but I don't think I'm a good representative of your average teenage girl. Well, I'm not either, like, I'm nowhere near a teenager anyway. Like, back in my day, like, well, we barely had like cell phones. Or like, well, I was a geek anyway, and a nerd and stuff. So not like super representative of the average girl even back then. Like, I was interested in things like Commodore 64 and the NES and Super NES, that kind of things. I couldn't name a single song on the charts. I'm not into reality TV or romantic comedies, and I don't get celebrity crushes. Emily Browning accepted. Okay, but that's kinda an admission about the gay thing, I guess. And it's like Emily, yeah, is a girl's name. My grands posed a pretty tough question. What do teenage girls like? If my time spent on Twitter, repeat Twitter, has taught me anything, which, let's face it probably hasn't, then attractive fictional characters who do evil things and dystopias, maybe. Yeah, like, well, not sure if this is like too representative of anything. Like this day, these days, like if you went to Twitter, like you probably guess that they will like AI slop and like bad politics and stuff. No, not that Twitter exists, it's like X or something. Oh, by the way, like I blew up my X for the new year. Removed all but one post and removed all the follows and removed all the likes manually. But it was worth it. So rip X2. Really? Is that what people like? I never knew. Me neither. It seems we are both out of the loop. No, she would be. She's a regular girl, anachronism. And I'm a relic of the past. That must be why we get on so well. Granolas. Now, about that window. In all honesty, I never paid it much heed. I always assumed it was St. George, but I might be wrong. I know there are several local legends about Vtuber, its forest in particular. Okay, now we are getting started with the interesting lore. I'm a fervent believer in fairies myself, no matter what other people say, but dragons are uncharted territory. I have never seen one of those in my time. Well, that's something to be thankful for. Seeing fairies can be excused as the follies of an old woman. In the hazy summer, dandelion clocks could easily become fluttering sylphs, but dragons. Yeah, I don't know, like... Yeah, maybe like fairies are easy to accept as thing because they could be small, but yeah. Yeah, like you would be like somebody like in Skyrim, like pointing at the sky like, yo, I saw a dragon there, really? I did? And then like everybody would be rolling their eyes like, yeah, sure, grandma, let's go to bed now. Like that kind of thing. That would have to be a pretty hefty hallucination. Not that I think my gran was hallucinating about the fairies, not after meeting, speaking and sharing a bed with Leop. Her existence is too solidly, unwaveringly real to call into question. A dragon would be something else though. I can't help you, but you might be able to find something in the local library. It's small, but I know it has quite the broad selection. Okay, well, you can't read, so that's going to be a problem, but we can read at least. Frank used to spend hours there, browsing the shelves, searching through its books on pretty birds. I think that would be your best bet. Or library, of course. I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. I didn't even know that they have a library in this village. If you want to learn about the world around you, what better place to seek answers than within old books? If the library doesn't have any info about that stained glass window, I don't know what will. It's the only option we have. Thanks, Gran, you're a star. Shall we head out, Leop? Oh yes, I know little of the so-called library, but I'm very interested to learn about it. Alright, you two, have fun. Don't stay out too late, and Leop dear, Turn obviously off a small smile. I understand coming to a new place must be daunting, but do not lose heart. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. Yeah, I wonder, like maybe we should call it a day actually here, because it has been 2 hours. We'll see like how my sleeping schedule is, but well, no guarantees. I'll post a message if I stream tomorrow, but no idea. Like it has been so random lately. Like I took like a 2-hour nap before the stream because I was so tired. Still waking up a little bit too early. But oh well. Next week, at least, like, you know, if nothing else, same place, same time. Hopefully, might stream tomorrow. Like, I kind of want to do like more, you know, like, not stick to the schedule too hard. Like, just stream when I'm feeling it and enjoy it. Like, I got the feeling that I have been like a little bit too much like, well, I need to do it at a certain time and be really strict about it. Also, like, have another game in plans, but like I bought like a Japanese game out of Steam and I want to play that, but I need to refresh my Japanese a little bit before that. But yeah, thank you for watching and see you, well, next week at the latest. Thank you and bye bye. Yeah, thanks. See you.